Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm PUJOWATI from State University of Padang. We are here to present our paper. As you can see on the screen, our paper title is Students' Translation Quality in Translating Children's Literature. Well, now I will show you the outline of this presentation. The first one is introduction, the second one is methods, the third one is result and discussion, and the last one is conclusion. Now let's begin with the introduction. Translation industry expansion has a significant impact on professional translation service. The demand for translators and interpreters is currently high, including in children's literature area. For example, it can be seen from Indonesian government's effort through the Language Development and Fostering Agency, Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology, which has implemented a children's literature translation program to support the national literacy movement, particularly to enrich the children's literacy. However, the quality of translation needs to pay more attention since translating is not a simple process, especially in children's literature. Why? Because each of the children's literature requires technique which determines translation process. So, this study is proposed to know the students in English department quality in translating fable as one of the children's literature from English into Indonesia. Students' translation quality is need to be known before entering the translation industry work or become a professional translator because it has an effect of the quality of the student's translation result. Now, let's come to the method. The type of the research is descriptive research. Descriptive research is research that determines and describes the way things are, involves collecting numerical data to test hypotheses or answer questions about the current subject of study. The population of this study was the undergraduate students in Universitas Negeri Padang and Universitas Eka Sakti Padang. The population was students who were in academic year 2018 or 2019, and they have taken translation subject. The researcher chose students randomly as sample of this research. There were 11 students from Universitas Eka Sakti Padang and 12 students from Universitas Negeri Padang. To measure the students' ability in producing good translation, the researcher provided one children's story as the translation test that it analyzed and interpreted so obtained data were meaningful and understood. Source of the data was English short story The Lion King was translated from English to Indonesia. To analyze students' translation ability in translating children's literature texts, the researcher used translation test instruments, adapted translation quality assessment from Nababan et al. 2012, such as accuracy, acceptability, and readability, with maximum score R3. In order to have a valid test, the draft of instrument was consulted to the translation lecturer from Universitas Negeri Padang and Eka Sakti University. In this study, reliability was achieved by interactive reliability. The raters of students' translation tests in this research were consisted of one lecturer from English department to score the accuracy, one lecturer from Indonesian department to score acceptability and readability, and researcher. Now, let's come to the result and discussion. Well, let's start from the accuracy. You can see on the table the total score of the students' accuracy. The frequency of students' translation accuracy at English Education Department of Universitas Negeri Padang and Eka Sakti University is shown in the table. The data exposes 9 students achieved accurate level with range score 2.5 until 3, and there are 14 students whose mastery level is less accurate. The total score of accuracy category is 2.47, in which the result of students' translation slightly matches the source language to the target language. The target language is less appropriate with messages or information in the source language. Now, let's see the example. Here's the result of students' translation with accurate and less accurate. Let us see the sentence number 29 from the source language. Nala and Simba went there, but they were attacked by spotted hyenas who were working for Scar. Translation from students, Nala and Simba pergi ke sana, tetapi mereka diserang oleh hyena tutul yang bekerja untuk Scar. Based on the result of the translation, it is categorized into an accurate translation because the words or the sentence transferred correctly as in the structure and the content. It was appropriate in the target language or Indonesian. And let's compare with the less accurate one, the sentence number 6. The source language, now Scar Mufasa, younger elder brother, was jealous for he was not granted the throne. Sekarang Scar adik jahat Mufasa cemburu karena dia tidak diberi tahta. That's an example. The translation has been translated accurately, but it is included into the category of inaccurate because there is still deletion in the phrase of Mustafa's younger elder brother. It makes the sentence unclear who is Mustafa younger elder, which is in source language. It has been mentioned, so it should be adik laki-laki Mustafa yang jahat. Okay, let's see the score of the students' acceptability. From the table, it can be seen that there are 4 students had acceptable score ranging from 2.5 until 3, and 19 students got 1.5 until 2.49, which means less accurate. The students' acceptability individually is less from acceptability expect. The total score of the acceptability is 2.42, in which the result of students' translation was less acceptable based on norms and culture in the target language. Okay, now let's see the students' translation with acceptable and less acceptable. You can see the sentence number 9. Nala and Simba went there, but they were attacked by spotted hyenas who were working for Scar. Nala dan Simba pergi ke sana, tetapi mereka diserang oleh sekawanan hyena tutul yang bekerja untuk Scar. Based on the result of the translation, it is categorized into acceptable translation because the translation in target language is naturally understood. The meaning of words, technical term, frasa, clausa of the language text are accurately transferred to the target language. There is absolutely no distortion of meaning. And let's compare with the less acceptable, the sentence number 20. You must flee, Simba. If the other animals find you, you don't even know what kind of danger you would be in. Flee. Kamu harus lari, Simba. Jika hewan lain mengetahuinya, Anda bahkan tidak tahu bahaya apa yang akan Anda hadapi. Lari. Based on the result of the translation, it is categorized into less acceptable because there is a little problem in the use of technical terms like the word kamu, Anda, which are not suitable with the animal like Simba, should be changed into how. Okay, now let's see the readability, total students' readability. From the table, it was found that there are 10 students had readability score ranging from 2.5 until 3, and 13 students achieved 1.5 until 2.49, which means less readable level. The student's readability individually is less from readability category, and it can be seen from the total score of readability is 2.48. The result shows that readability achieved higher score compared to accuracy and acceptability category. It means that although the ideas and meaning are not correctly accurate, but syntax in target language or Indonesian language meets the reader's expectation. Okay, now let's see the result of student simulation with readable and less readable. Okay, sentence number 18. At once, Mufasa ran to save Simba, but as a result, he himself fell to his death. Seketika Mufasa berlari menyelamatkan Simba, namun akibatnya dia sendiri jatuh hingga tewas. From the data above, the text translation can easily be understood by the reader. It is categorized into readable. And if we compare with the sentence number 22, this is less readable. U3, Scar orders his 3 spotted hyenas. Make sure that Cube doesn't live another days. Kalian bertiga, perintah Scar kepada 3 hyena tuturnya. Pastikan anak itu tidak hidup lagi. From the data, in general, the translation can be understood by the reader. However, the phrase that in source language was translated to be anak itu. It should be read more than one time to understand who was the cube that the translator means. It should be changed to pastikan Simba sudah mati. This data is categorized into less readable. Okay, now let's see the average score for 3 categories: accuracy, acceptability, and readability. The data has described that the quality of translation should be accurate, acceptable, and readable by the target of the audience. Each of the 3 aspects has a different quotient value. According to Nababan theory, the accuracy aspect achieves the highest score at 3. The acceptability aspect has 2 score and the readability is at 1. Based on the assessment of 3 aspects of the translation quality, the average score for the all aspects is obtained as the table. Based on the table, the average score for the 3 aspects in translation children literature from English into Indonesia is 2.46. It means that the ability of the students in producing the translation is less from aspect of accuracy, less from acceptability, and less from aspect readability. Okay, the conclusion. The level of students' quality in translating children's literature in the form of fable entitled The Lion King from English into Indonesia by English Department student at University Padang and Ekasati University is less from aspect of accuracy, less from acceptability, and less from aspect readability. Okay, and this is our reference. Okay, thank you. That's all our presentation for today. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.